Our connection is she went to graduate school with Denise Vanderbilt at the University of the Arts in Philadelphia, so we are lucky to have a connection to bring her here. She's worked with students this week and held individual critiques, and today she held a workshop for fiber students and some of the painting and drawing students on dyeing techniques, and she gave an excellent talk about her work and influences, so we're really pleased to have her here working with our students. So, help me welcome.
Thank you. You know, a treat to have all these people here among my life and my thoughts and my work, and it's nice to be able to share it, and I really felt welcomed and appreciated and glad to be here for a couple of days. I'm going to cheat a little bit, so I was drawing on the plane on my way here. Like, you know, thinking through my thoughts about my work, and it's sort of a funny thing. In grad school, all you do is think about your work and figure out how to articulate what you need to say about it. And then post-grad school, I put together this body of work, and all of a sudden, actually most of this work was in another show this summer. And I was like, oh my goodness, what do I say about this? I haven't actually had to talk about it yet. So I was, sort of drawing some pictures. I made this great diagram. I wish I could show you the diagram of my some of the thoughts that go into it. Well, I can show you. It's a circle. But I guess a lot of this work begins with an idea of memory. And sometimes it's specific memories, but it's often more of a general idea of memory as a system and sort of this construct that forms identity, both individual and collective identity. So there's this idea of memory, and it came out of a grandfather I was very close to has developed Alzheimer's dementia, and is in very advanced stages now where his organs are not working because his brain's not working. But watching this deterioration of a person and a personality because the memory wasn't there, and that was really the only reason that he stopped being the same person who he was. And so started thinking about that and how do you keep memory? How do you make it? How do you construct memory? What are the systems that create memory? Sort of thinking about those kinds of questions, and this work all emerged out of that. And it went around the circle into this little arrow pointing to materials, and the idea that the materials that something are made of mean something. And if a material had a previous use or some other life, that meaning carries over in a new construction. So, a lot of attention to what are the things that I'm using, and what do they mean, and where do they come from? So, I don't know if it's always, sometimes I include sort of a dictionary of materials to explain what these things mean, but there's a lot of symbolism and a lot of deliberate attention to numbers and historical significance of things and, other kinds of uses to the materials that are here. And that sort of flips around the circle to an interest in alchemy and the idea that materials have a spiritual essence that could be combined to make something very transcendent and other than themselves. And then you get around to mythology and sort of this collective system of memory and storytelling and passing things down, and what happens when you have a story that becomes a symbol. And so just sort of working through all of these things, and then that cycles me back around to my own family history, which brings me back around to memory. So it all sort of comes back and circles back to this idea that the world that we live in has these meanings and these constructions that form our own identity. And so this is sort of my identity, I guess, or my collective identity with my family and the cultures that I live in. Yeah, so thank you for sharing in that and being part of that. And I hope that you find your own sort of connection points and sense of your own memory or of history or tradition or those kinds of things that I think come into play in some of the pieces. So enjoy. Thank you very much for having me.